beautiful people, it's your girl T and I'm back to work in Mythographic Imagine by Joseph Catimbang. So we're going to be doing part 2 of this of the page that I've chosen in this beautiful book. So let me go ahead and get to our page. And before I tell you guys some of the colors I've used on this, I'm going to go ahead and put my sheet of paper back here and move some things out of the way. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Okay, so, all right, so the last video I put the first layer and showed you just a little sample of what I was going to do in this section here. But in the first layer, I started off with, I used jade, and that is A059. So I did the whole entire page, the background here with jade. And then I went back with pear. Okay, I used pear. And with the pear, I colored in some of the light areas just to give, you know, just like a highlighted or lighter color effect here. This area is here. And then I did some shading with black. And actually, I'm sorry, pear is A100. And then the black noir is A012. And so basically I shaded in some of these areas here and, you know, just around the lily pads just to make it like a little shadow in this area. You know, all around here. And so now tonight I'm going to be working on these guys, I don't know what they're called, lily pads or fronds or whatever they are. I'm going to be working on all these little things here in the picture. And so there are going to be some times during the video where it's going to be music and I'm not going to be talking, only because I'm still a little tired. But I don't want to, you know, not do a video for you guys because I believe you work even when you're sick. You work even when you're tired, and you just keep going till you can't go anymore. And your body says, ah, break time. So my body's not there just yet. So I'm going to give you guys what I have left tonight. Okay. So excuse any background noise. And so also, I did an update on my phone here, and I'm using that right now because I'm not ready to use my digital camera for doing videos just yet. And I noticed that the last video I did, there was some, not the coloring one, but the flip through, the phone kept auto-focusing, and I'm not sure why it's doing that now because it wasn't doing that before. So if you guys see a lot of that auto-focusing, I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm not sure. I looked up how to fix that, but there's really not much information on that right now. So please forgive me. It's not my fault, I promise. I don't want this auto-focusing so much. So let's go ahead and get started. I chose 3 colors to use for these fronds and lily pads. The first color, my lightest color I'm going to be using is spring green, which is A042. The middle color, the mid color is going to be the mint A030. And my darkest color is my little emerald A094. And lucky me, I do have another set of these because my first set was missing, I think it was dark brown. And they, instead of just sending me dark brown, they sent me a set of 48 to replace it. So that was really nice. So I have some backup. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to not zoom in for this section down here because I want to see how my video acts, okay? So I do apologize if you can't really see. Well, you know what? I'm going to zoom in just a little bit because I'd hate for you guys not to be able to see. So I'm going to scoop this up and we're going to work on these at the bottom first. I typically don't work this way. I kind of like to work from the up in the corner, left corner, and then down so that my hands don't smear the color pencil. But I haven't had any issues with this paper in this book, so I'm going to go ahead and just do it this way. All right. So I'm just going to start off with very light application of the Spring Green A042. And I'm going to be working a little fast here. So typically, yes, I do color this fast. Some people don't do that, but I do. Am I afraid I'm going to make a mistake? Yeah, sometimes, but I have erasers. So, and when you're working with colored pencils, you can kind of get away with working a little fast because of erasers. But if you're working with markers, you probably want to take your time. I don't really work a lot with markers. I want to. In some books, I will work with markers, but in other books, like, that are not single-sided, then I won't. I may do some pictures in this book with marker because it is single-sided, not double-sided. So again, we're just going to be applying the light. Light green. So my week, you guys, has been so tiresome. At work, we had some, we updated to Windows 10 finally. And we had to actually get new computers. And we had to have like more training on Windows 10 because we've been in I think it's Windows 8 for a long time. People are so used to it. Whenever there's change, some people, in Windows 10 is like a drastic change from what we're using. So they had to do some training. So we had to get our computers upgraded. So it was just, a lot going on. We had a lot going on this week. We did some major changes with the way we process certain things, and it was just a busy week. And so on top of that, this week has been mighty warm outside, and we don't have our air conditioner on. So I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I could not get myself to go to sleep because it was too hot. And I was tossing and turning. I was trying to go to sleep. I just couldn't get there. And I was like, is it me or is it hot in here? Because sometimes you might get hot, and it's not that it's hot, it's just what you're feeling at the moment. And I was like, Lord Jesus, please don't let me be starting the menopause stuff. I'm too young, I think, for that. So I was like, I think it's just hot in here. So that was on Monday. So I came out of the bedroom and I asked my husband, are you hot? And he's like, yeah, it's a little warm in here. And he had the ceiling fan going. So I was like, okay, so he must be warm too. I'm not the only one. And I went to look at the thermostat, and the thermostat was reading like 80 degrees. I was like, oh my God, it's too hot in here. I'm like, thank God it's not me. It really is too hot in here. So that was like at probably 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, you guys. And I have to get up at between 5:45 and 6 a.m. for work. I hadn't had any sleep. And so by the time I fell asleep, it was probably after 3 a.m. and then I had to get back up. And you know, once you miss out on the sleep you're supposed to have, it's like you can't ever get the rest back. And with me having, you know, to do so much at night when I come home, it's not, I can't go take a nap. So I've not recovered from missing that sleep. And then the following night, the same thing. I didn't get to sleep till after 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Just have, you know, things to do, or I was, you know, getting some coloring in out, you know, outside of doing videos. I do other coloring, other pictures. So, you know, giving myself a cutoff time and then realizing, oh my God, I've just gone over that. Eyes burning, still sitting up. I'm just like, you're crazy, T. Take yourself to bed. You're so crazy. And then you say you're tired. So hopefully I'll be able to catch up on some of that sleep this weekend. But when you have a 6-year-old, I mean, he's good to the point where, you know, you can say, Christian, you know, I'm tired. Go, you know, play with your tablet. I'll be up in a few minutes and you can doze back off. And he'll just go play with his tablet, or go bother his brother. So yeah, so tired, y'all. And then, you know, just trying to get things situated at work, everybody getting their upgraded computers, helping out my team because of, you know, they're not available to assist the customers. So I had to jump in like supervisors are supposed to do and help. So, and I don't mind doing that. That's part of the job. But, you know, with not getting sleep and for a couple days, the right amount of sleep, it can wear you down. All right, so I'm going to bring this down a little bit, and I'm going to start on these fronds going up. I think I'm going to use the same color scheme because I really want her to stand out. So she's going to be, you know, kind of bright colored. I want to kind of keep this area, the background and the leaves and the foliage and stuff in nice color greens. Nothing that's going to take the center stage because I want her to have center stage, or for the art people, I want her to be the focal point. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and add, still working with the spring green. Now, you guys, I don't know what these plants are, so if I'm coloring the wrong color, I do apologize. These are going to be the colors I use for this. And really, you know, there's really no wrong color to use when you're coloring, because it's your interpretation of the picture. It's how you see it, and how you want to express, you know, the way you see it. So now there are rules and, you know, for color, but you know, that goes back to the color wheel, and a lot of people don't know the color wheel rules. So to me, if I see a nice picture, it doesn't matter if somebody followed the rules of the color wheel or not. If I like it, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up or let them know it's a beautiful picture. But yeah. So that's been my week, you guys. Just tiresome, and we've had rain. We have pollen covering the cars, covering everything. Our season of pollen is bad because even this year it messed with me, and it typically doesn't. So yes, so our pollen situation is ridiculous. We've had, the cars have been covered with pollen, the streets, you can see pollen clouds. You can see pollen dust clouds just all in the sky. It's everywhere. And we had rain, but the rain seemed to like make it worse. The rain came, washed it away, and it was like a day later it was like double that amount. So we're dealing with that right now. And so since it's like in the mid to high 70s here right now, and we're only in, well, we're in April, early April, almost mid-April. So I anticipate that we're gonna have a really hot and steamy, really hot and steamy summer. You guys hear me sigh too much over that, because I don't know if you've ever been to the South. We're not as far south as probably most people are, because we're in North Carolina. There's a lot of other states further south, but we get some serious hot, sticky, humid, pass out weather here. And I think that this is going to be the year where it's really hot. One year, the first year we moved here, it was so hot. I thought, oh my God, why did we move here? I was like, why did we move here? Oh my God, it's so hot. Oh my goodness, you guys, you cannot stand under a tree. And first of all, you don't want to stand under a tree because of bugs and mosquitoes. But standing under a tree in North Carolina is not going to cool you off. It might shade you from the sun, but that's about it. Because heat is all around you. It has nothing to really do with that sun. Even though the sun does make it a little warmer, you're still going to be just as hot under a tree. You know, if you if you think that tree is going to help you, think again. So, I'm just dreading it, guys. So I think we're going to go ahead. We've already told our little one we're going to get one of those above ground pools to put in the backyard, you know, this summer. So, you know, he has a way to cool off and, you know, some fun stuff to do this summer. And one cool thing about having your own pool in your backyard is there's no cutoff time as far as when you need to get out of it. When you go to like a hotel or a resort, or even if you live in an apartment complex, you know, they say pool closes at 9 or pool closes at 10. You're like, oh my God, that's the best time to get in the water because it's cooler and nobody wants to be in the pool when the sun's sitting over top of them. So, okay, so we're in a section here. I don't know what this is. I don't think it's the plant. I think it's a leaf, so we're gonna leave that alone. Okay, so we're gonna get over here on this side now. But yeah, so when you're living or you're visiting a hotel and things like that, you really have to follow the rules. But if you have one in your backyard, you can go back there midnight if you want to. It's yours. And I think that's going to be what's going to be cool about having a pool in the backyard. You know, living in a house here is that we're going to be able to go out there whenever we want to, and just relax in the water. If it's a, you know, if it's a nice warm evening and we just want to go in the pool and just relax, we can do that. So we're looking forward to having that this summer. But yeah, so we're probably gonna have a lot of time out in the water, and you know, of course you got to make sure you're safe from mosquitoes because they like to be around the water too. So we'll have our mosquito sprays, our citronella candles out, our tiki torches to keep them away. So I think we're gonna have a good summer, but it's just gonna be a hot one. I don't know where you guys are from, how hot it gets there. Sometimes our humidity index is so high that it's like, you could have like, oh, I'm going to exaggerate a little bit here. You could have like, it could be like 80 degrees but the humidity index makes it feel like 100, 105 or something like that. So that's what I'm talking about when I say exaggeration, because it's probably not that. It's probably not that hot with the index, but it's so hot here, you guys, in the summertime. Ooh, you just don't want to even be outside. Most people like to stay inside until the sun goes down. So that will probably be me, unless I'm out in the water. So yes, summertime, bring it. So also it's our, for us, hurricane season starts, I believe, in June. And last year we had a hurricane that came through North Carolina, the coast of North Carolina, and it sat over us for like 3 days, rain nonstop. So we're praying that we don't get anything this year, but it just seems like storms are getting worse and worse. And even living here, we have severe thunderstorms a lot. They just seem like they're they just seem like they're worse and worse every year. So we're probably going to get some bad stuff. I'm praying we don't, but you have to be prepared in any case, for bad weather. All right, so it looks like I've gotten all these little frond kind of things. I think this is a leaf. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go ahead and color it that spring green. All right, so we have, I think this might be one here. Yep, I see the little stem. So what's difficult with this picture, or any of these pictures like this, is that sometimes you can't tell what something is. So can you imagine drawing this? Like, wow. They drew this and trying to figure out, they know what they're drawing, but just sitting here trying to figure out what I'm looking at is a little difficult. But, you just work right on through it. I think we're going to go with it. Sometimes you just got to go with it, guys. You say, okay, it's going to be that. It is what it is. It's going to be what I say it is. Okay, so this one here too. So we're going to go here and do the same. Maybe balance that out because it's right by her head. So put some of that here. I think this is her hair. So I'm going to just stop that right about there. Kind of hard to tell, but we'll do that. All right, so I just completed that with the Spring Green A042. Next, we're going to go to our mid color or middle color, which is Mint. And what I'm going to do with Mint is just come in and, add some mint to the screen, where I believe it should go. You can put it where you like. I kind of like to go with the line work. You can kind of tell where you're supposed to put, colors or shading with line work. And sometimes it's not that easy to figure out. So then you just go with your instinct. Like here. Probably shouldn't put that there, but I'm going to, okay? Show all your instinct. Anybody have any big plans this summer? I don't really have any. I don't have any big plans. We're not gonna probably take a vacation this year because we're gonna be going on our cruise, in April next year, so I'm gonna try to hold off on going anywhere else. Unless it's like going home, for me, like going home to San Diego for Dad's retirement, stuff like that. Of course, we'll go to that. All right, so we're gonna get in here. And again, you guys, I'm using Mint A030. I'm just applying some color, some mint on this to kind of break up this spring green. I saw a post on my Facebook page that somebody said, hey, the craft stores are not selling coloring books anymore. I think it's going away. I think coloring is probably going to end. This whole, craze. And I don't think it's going to end. I think that coloring is always going to be around because it's a hobby. And a lot of hobbies kind of tend to kind of stick around, like people knit, and I'm sure when that first, started, some people started and some people stopped. I think it's just going to be each person individually who determines, if this is going to be something they do for a long time or not. Now, if you spent a lot of money on your books and your supplies, you might be doing this for a long time. You might be doing this until you can't do it anymore. So I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I just think that it's going to be more difficult as far as like coloring books. It's going to be more difficult, I think, for illustrators to come up with something new because, unless there are new illustrators coming out, because there's so many books with the same themes and subjects that you just think that, okay, sooner or later they're gonna not have much to draw, and they're gonna have to kind of go crazy, or they might retire. You just don't know. But the good thing is that there are other illustrators that are not well known yet, or are still working on their craft. By the time they come out with a coloring book, they might have come up with some new topic or idea of things for us to color. So I don't think it's gonna go away. Yeah, craft stores are probably not selling it because the buyers have to buy, or have to put in their stores what's selling at their store. So if they've spent all this money on stocking up coloring books and people are not buying them, then they're not going to probably buy any more coloring books for the store. They're going to probably try to get rid of the ones they have and limit their stock because they're not getting enough people in there buying that in that area. So I think it's also too, the area that you live in. The area that you live in. And sorry guys, I just realized I may have been out of frame down here. Sorry so much. Sorry. Let me get this back in frame. Sometimes it's hard to know if I am or not because I'm using my phone here. All right, so I think I am because I'm working on all this here. Okay, sorry. But yeah, so shoot me a comment down in the comment section if you notice that too, like your store, your craft store in your area is not really selling, not really selling coloring books anymore. I'd like to know that. I did notice that when I first really started coloring, Walmart in my area was like really selling a lot of coloring books. Anything that was, new, you could find it in their stores. And now I'm noticing that they still have like a bestseller, but they don't have very many. It's like Kirby Rosanas, Joanna Basford, and maybe some Deborah Muller or Creative Haven books. That's it. And I'm talking like maybe 5 different ones. And when I first started, they had tons. And so I don't go to Walmart to get books anymore. And I think, you know, also too, people are just gonna have to start buying their books online. But, you know, like I saw somebody say, it's gonna be not so good for people who don't like to shop online. Some people don't want to shop online. They want to go to a store and buy their stuff. And that's fine. You know, that's their choice. That's their right to do that. But if, you know, you can't find anything at the stores, it's like you're going to be almost forced to or not to color at all. So I hope that doesn't happen where people stop because they don't want to shop online. So then people stop making coloring books and then we have nothing to color but what we have in our ginormous stashes already, which is like silly to think that we would never find anything to color because if you're like me, you have too many books. So, but yeah, so I decided, you guys, to do the Color Your Hoard challenge that Lavelia is doing with another YouTuber. And I'm sorry, guys, I always forget her name when I'm talking about this challenge. But it's a Color Your Hoard. You can look it up, hashtag Color Your Hoard on Instagram. And so the challenge, part of the challenge is like going through all of your coloring books to see what coloring books you have not colored yet, and to basically keep a record of that and you know, commit to coloring a book basically from your hoard. So that might mean using a randomizer to pick a book, you know, to color out of. I'm not using a randomizer or, you know, number generator or anything like that. I'm just going to look at my list and choose a book. But, you know, I think that's part of the challenge, is to do it that way. But I'm going to be doing that. And so this is one of the books that was on my list. So since I'm coloring it with you guys, I get to mark this one off. So this one will be one that's I can mark off, which is cool. And I'm working on Momo Girl. I'm working in Momo Girl right now for a Instagram, one of the Instagram challenges, and I'm using erosion tin in that one. So I think it's going to turn out nice. And that book, I've had it for such a long time. I was so intimidated to color in it. And I'm not sure about you guys, if you guys get intimidated to color in certain books. I certainly do. Because I've seen so many beautiful colorings and was like, I don't think I can do anything as beautiful as that, and I don't want to mess up the book. So, you know, I just don't color in it. And that's silly because the whole purpose of buying the book is to color in it. So I have to get out of that thinking that I'm going to mess something up, because I just need to just go for it. So that's what I've decided to do, is just go for it. So yeah, I'm going to be coloring in my books this year. So, and then I'm doing a full book challenge or buddy color with my group, my Facebook group. And we're doing Romantic City, and I love that book. I didn't realize how good that book was, guys, until I started like spending a lot of time in it because of the challenge. I love the paper. I love the way the images are drawn. I love the space. It's not crowded. It's not. There's some pictures where you know it's kind of intricate, but there's not a lot of really intricate pictures, and you get a chance to really shade and practice your shading and stuff. And I'm really enjoying that book, you guys, a lot. Really enjoying it. And it takes the, because I'm using I always say stuff, aquarelle. I'm using aquarelle, watercolor, the water crayons, or the the water crayons by Lyra. And I love the way the paper reacts to it. It's so nice. So I'm gonna probably pull out my Neo Color 2s now to try, because I just wanted to see how the paper would react, and I didn't want to like waste using my Neos on it. So now that I know it's reacting very well to the paper, I'm gonna use the Neo Color 2s in the book. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also coloring for the first time in Pop Manga Mermaids, and that's another book that I'm intimidated by. The art is just so beautiful, and I just don't want to mess it up. And maybe, you know, I'm just thinking that I'm not going to do the picture justice, but again, I shouldn't think like that, because it's whatever I think looks beautiful for the page, regardless of who likes it or not, you know. So I gotta just stop doing that. If I buy it, color in it. Stop thinking you're not good enough to color in a book, and go with it. So hopefully you guys, I'm talking through this, maybe you guys might feel the same way, and just, you know, thinking about it a little bit with me and hearing me talk through it might help you make a decision, you know, not to do that, just to go for it. Do, you know, work in the book. So let's see, we're going to go over in this section now, up here, and do these and come down. I'm not sure how this looks on the screen, but I really like the way this is turning out, you guys. I like the greens I've chosen. Let me know what you think about the greens I've chosen for these fronds, or I don't know what these things are. So guys, tomorrow is soccer, unless it rains. We were rained out last Friday, so no soccer. So they had a makeup on Wednesday, but unfortunately, I'm not able to get to practice by 6 p.m. on a Wednesday because of where I work. I would actually have to take, you know, time off to get my son to practice. And I don't think I want to take time off work, you know, to get my son to a makeup practice. So, you know, I just didn't take him there. But we're going to be going, there's no rain. If it's raining, I mean, we have bad thunderstorms in the forecast too. So typically if it's raining, they cancel it because it's a safety thing for the children. And, you know, so usually he doesn't want to be out. Christian does not want to be out in the rain, so I'm not going to have a problem with him. Like, oh, soccer practice. He'll be like, good. I mean, he's enjoying soccer, but he does not like being out in the rain because he associates rain with thunder and lightning, and he's afraid of it. So, you know, he could be in a dead sleep, guys. And if it's raining, or if it starts thundering and lightning, he wakes up out of that sleep and he is in the room with us. That's how afraid he is. And I'm not sure why he's gotten like that. Maybe, you know, it's a loud sound, of course. And he's never really liked loud booming noises, so I think that had a lot to do with it. He, like if you're sitting somewhere and a microphone makes that sound like that, oh man, he's like grabbing his ears. So I think it's just his ears are sensitive. So yeah, so he'll be fine with us not going if it's raining, because he'll think like, oh, it's gonna be thunder and lightning out there where we're out there, because he'll usually say, hurry up mommy and get home because it's thundering and lightning. And I really do not like driving in bad weather because people here, they get afraid too, and they're slamming on brakes when they don't need to, and hydroplaning, because some people will drive too fast and they're hydroplaning, and it can be a real mess. Even though it rains here a lot, people should know how to drive in the rain. We have a lot of people that are not from this area, like myself. I come from California, Southern California, where they say it never rains in Southern California. That's pretty much true. It doesn't get that much rain. So when I moved to the East Coast and experienced my first true storm, I was like, what in the world? We get sprinkles in California and people are getting in crashes. Sprinkles here, like if it's sprinkled here, it'd be full on. They'd say it's pouring in California. They say it's pouring. But they have recently been getting some really bad weather in Southern California with like rain and stuff. So, I mean, they just are not really used to that. So people, don't know how to drive in it. So they're driving all crazy, just like here. Don't know how to drive in the rain. You drive all crazy. Or you're skittish behind the wheel. Or it's raining so hard you can't even see the car in front of you. We get that kind of rain here, guys. It's raining so hard you can't even see. I mean, there's been times when I've actually had to pull over, on the side of the highway, because I was like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to get in a car accident because I cannot see. And that can be scary too, because a lot of times when there's like a tornado warning and you're like in those kind of like rain situations or bad storms and hail, you don't know what's coming at you unless you're listening to the radio. You don't know what's out there. That's kind of scary too. So yeah, so this is coming along nicely. I still have to do the dark green, but my darker green is going to be more like the shading kind of green, used for the shading actually. So hopefully I can get this. I'm thinking, you guys, I'm trying to gauge how many videos I can, do this picture in. There might be some areas I will work off camera. It just depends on, how I'm feeling and stuff. But I think for the most part, we'll get all of this on camera for you. And probably have, I'm thinking maybe I could probably get this done in maybe one or two, maybe two more, maybe three. We'll see. Because the background we just, we did first, and we colored that with colored pencil. So it's coming along nicely. I'm not afraid anymore to color this. I'm relaxed about it. So, because I realize, that just gotta do it. Nothing to it but to do it, guys. Nothing to it but to do it. Sorry for the background noise that you're hearing. I have some things going on back there. So guys, I don't know if you've seen my my review on the new Disney Princess coloring book. And, you know, oh, well, let me ask this question first. How do you feel about giving a review or your opinion on a book that may not be what other people think? Like, you might be the only person who says, oh God, this book is, you know, I don't like the book. I don't like it. You know, how do you feel about that? Do you think that you should keep that kind of opinion to yourself? Do you think that you should give your opinion about the book, regardless what other people think about it? You know, some people don't like when, you know, people give not so good reviews on coloring books that they might enjoy. And then some people just don't care. It's your opinion. So, you know, I'm one of those people. It's your opinion. I don't care if you don't like the book or if you like it and I don't. But there are some people who don't think you should, you know, give bad reviews of books. I didn't give a bad review. I just said that, you know, for me, you know, that Disney book wasn't what I expected. And so because it wasn't what I expected, I didn't know if I liked it or not. And after, you know, looking at the book and, you know, then it was damaged, that kind of made me a little sour about the book even more. I was like, okay, now I really don't like the book. But because I could see the issue with the book, you know, if I kept it and worked in it, I would actually have to take that book apart. And if you've heard me say it once before, I'll say it again. I am not someone who likes to take my books apart. I want the book to stay intact. I don't know, because I don't want to have pages just floating around or in binders with, you know, I just want people to open a book, you know, and flip through it. That's just, you know, like you would a reading book. I just want people to be able to do that, or I want to be able to do that. So tearing them out, I mean, you can do that when if you put them in, tear them out and put them in binders, you can still do that. But it's just something about having it in the book the way that it was, you know, sent to me. I want to keep it in its same format. But yeah, so I was not very happy with the book. The images are lovely. They're beautiful. I love Thomas Kincaid. Nothing on him, nothing on the artwork, nothing whatsoever. I did not like the, oh, look you guys, here's one right here I missed. Huh? So let me go back, get my lightest color, and we'll take care of that. You know, the book is a beautiful book. It's not for me, because I just don't want a book, you know, that I'm going to have to take apart. So that was the only thing I said about it. You know, I just don't want that book because of its format. I don't like the fact that, you know, the images that you're supposed to get inspiration from are in the back of the book, and they're not even the size of the actual image to color. But for some people that's not, it's, you know, it's nothing. That is not going to bother them. But for me, that's not what I expected. And so maybe I shouldn't have expected that, but I did. And because I did, and it wasn't what I expected, I don't want the book. And it was damaged and coming apart just from opening it. So I think that I just got probably a faulty book, but no, I'm not going to keep it. I actually returned the book. For anyone who's wanting to know what I ended up doing, I returned the book, and I'm not getting another one. Maybe they'll, you know, maybe the next one will come out different, with a different format. And hopefully if they're looking at other, you know, reviews, they see that. And I'm not asking them to change the way that they want to publish a book just for me. But, you know, to each his own. So for me, no, I didn't want it. So, but anyways, it's still a beautiful book. Look, I'm still, you guys, this is the thing with this book. If you're coloring, you'll notice things that you've missed as you go. Oh, that's spring green. As you're going along, you're going to notice you've missed something that you're supposed to have colored with the colors you've chosen for the section. I've noticed here, I'm going to go with my lightest color, spring green. I missed one of the frond stems over here. So missed the pad here. So yeah, your eyes have to be focused. Focus your eyes. So yeah, so and you guys, I waited for that book for almost a year, and was so excited to get that book. And I was like, oh my God, the book. It's gonna be here, you guys, in a few days. It's gonna be here tomorrow. And I get the book, and I'm like, when I first opened the box, I was like, when I first got the box, I was like, why did they send this huge box for a small book? Me not reading the complete description. I didn't care about the description because I just wanted the book. So when I opened it, I was like, oh, okay. And then I opened it, I was like, oh, these are beautiful images. And I was just flipping through, and I was like, wait a minute, where are my inspiration images? Where are they at? And they just were in the back, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know. So, but no more about that, guys. No more about that. Okay, so we got all that green in, and next I'm gonna go with the Emerald 8094, and I'm going to add some shading with this color here. It's very pointy. I'm trying not to, it's building up a little bit, wax buildup. You shouldn't really do that with your hand, but sometimes I do. And so I'm just gonna take this dark green, start kind of dark by these areas here, and then just lightly pull that up. Okay, and the same here, right at the base of this. Now, I don't know if this is correct, but this is how I'm doing it. And just lightly pull that down. Go another layer if you want. Okay, then I'm going to go up here and give it some as well. Again, I'm working with Emerald A094, and these colors will be flashing on your screen for those people who want to follow along with this. I would suggest, if you're going to be coloring in this book, before you start, you might want to get your pencils sharpened with a nice pointy tip, so that you can get in these little small detailed areas. I saw some areas here I wanted to add a little bit more of the mint. It's a little too light for me, so I'm just adding a little bit more mint in this area. Okay, so I'm then going to go back to my emerald and keep going. I'm going to do this loosely, so when I come back for the next video, you guys might see a little bit more done than what I did on the video. And I'll explain, you know, what I did. Okay, so we got this round. So I'm going to stay down here. I'm going to come back down and work on this. Now I was contemplating whether I should darken up these edges here. So I'll make that decision probably off camera. I'll probably try a small one and see how I like it, how it looks, before I commit to doing a big one that's here in the front. So basically, you know, you're just adding that dark color to where you think you'd like to see it, or you think it should go. This is all, you know, this is all up to you, basically. And I'm just doing it, you know, just along where I think I would see shading. Now, a good way to know where to shade, you can, you know, imagine the sun, where the sun is shining, and you're going to shade based on that. Like, so if the sun's coming this way, then you're going to shade on this side. The sun's coming this way, you're going to have shading on the opposite side. So, yeah. But for this one, I'm not going to focus too much on that because there's a lot going on in this picture. And I want to just, you know, get this colored in really nice. And then go back, you know, maybe out, you know, once I'm done with the video and say, hey, maybe I should do something over here. And I'll explain that when I come back. If you see it looks a lot different than what you saw me coloring. So I was thinking, I'm almost to 1,500, I'm just reaching at 1,400 subscribers, and I was thinking about doing a giveaway for once I reach 1,500 subscribers. So you guys stay tuned. It might take a while to get there because, you know, I don't put out a lot of videos, and so the growth is going to be pretty slow. Plus, you know, it's just a matter of what people want to see and what I put out. So, if you have friends that are in the coloring community and they are looking for somebody, I don't know how different I am, but if they're looking for somebody who, you know, is kind of still on the learning path as well, in coloring and just sharing what they know, send them over here. Share my video and see if they'd like to watch. But yeah, so 1,500, and I'll be doing a giveaway. I'm not gonna tell you guys the book or what it's gonna be, if it's gonna be a book or not. I'm not really sure yet. I think last time I did a gift card. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I think it's going to be nice, whatever it is. So, yay! I'm at 1,400. So, it's been a slow going for me, but, you know, slow is good. You don't feel as much pressure if it was growing too fast. Fast is good too for some people, but for me, because you know I'm a full-time employee, I'm a full-time mommy. You know, I just have so much going on that my day, my time for coloring is right before I go to sleep. And that's even doing videos. My time for videos is when Christian is off to bed, and you know, and I have this free time to do it. I would love to increase that. But with, you know, with a 6-year-old who demands attention, you really have to give it to them. I mean, they're babies. He's still a baby. And he wants attention. I got to give it. So, yeah. So, you know, once I, you know, get more time on my hands, then I can put out more. If I have a studio, which I'm still trying to get, it's just taking so long to find, you know, somebody to do this room. We got a couple estimates, really expensive, because we kind of want to reframe our area in order to make it an all seasons room or an office. So, you know, I don't want to take a bedroom and make a studio, because I want people to have a place to sleep when they come visit. I don't want them to have to, you know, go get a hotel or feel like they don't want to be in the room because of my, you know, because my things are in there, and they don't want to mess things up, and my setup of my, you know, equipment and stuff. I just don't want people to feel uncomfortable. So, you know, so that was the option, is to get our covered porch changed into an all seasons room. And that is going to be a pretty penny. We got one estimate, and it's astronomical. So we're going to try to get some more estimates. I'm sure we can find somebody reasonable. Me, because I'm just so picky, you know, about things. I just don't want anybody doing it. So, yeah. My husband's like, you need to find some other options. So we're going to look at other options. All right. Okay, so we're coming down here now. I think I've done that one already. Okay, yeah. I'm going to move faster because I don't want this video is going to be so long already, because there's so many little details. Let's see what we got. All right. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop. This is all I'm going to do on camera. And I'm going to, when I come back for the next video, all of these will be shaded in, and you guys will see that. So I'm going to go zoom out a little bit here so you guys can see the full picture so far. All right, so I'm going to continue on with shading with the emeralds all over these areas here, okay? And when I come back from my next video, you will see all of that colored in, and we'll go on to doing these leaves around her, and probably the flower, or maybe just work on her. We shall see. I'll make that decision. All right, y'all, until next time, take care.